check one. Sipowicz.
Isn't that Tom Hanks when he's like checking the microphone or something?
So it's an old Wayne's World episode where, and this is before the Wayne's World movie, which came out in 1992. So it was Wayne's cousin was a roadie for Aerosmith, and they set the microphones up in the basement, and Aerosmith actually does a song, but he does his microphone check. He's like, check one, Sipowicz.
He takes that role, which is not really a role, so serious, and that's why I think it's so funny.
He's got the hat on backwards with the glasses.
Yeah, in the movie Big's one of my favorites, and I used to love Tom. It's so, like he just seems like he's gotten weird or something at the end here recently.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I guess some of the movies he's been in, I don't know. I just don't have the same vibe that I used to with Tom Hanks.
Well, he's just, we're not getting star-driven movies anymore.
I guess that's what it is. Or maybe he's like semi-retired. He's like, but he's had some movies come out, and I haven't even tried to watch them.
He did that
what's
one
been recent?
A couple years ago on Apple TV called Greyhound, where he plays like the battleship commander, which was an interesting movie. Terrible CGI, so it took me right out of the movie. And then he's in that new one directed by Robert Zemeckis with him and Robin Wright, where the whole movie takes place in a single room over like 100 years.
Okay, I remember the previews for that because, as you know, I go to a lot of silly movies, a lot. I probably go to the movie theater too much.
Right.
And I remember that preview, and I'm like, that kind of looks interesting, but did it come out, or is it out, or is it already gone away?
I mean,
I don't even know.
Theaters.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. It was
Oops, I missed it.
I think it was in theaters around Christmas season.
Well, there you go. That's why I've lost my connection to Tom.
I mean, I don't really go to the movies anymore, so.
I know you don't. You know me. I go to a lot of the kids stuff.
Sure.
Just saw Dog Man.
Saw Dog Man? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a horror movie?
It's a children's book.
But it's
a series. No,
it's okay.
No, it's a cartoon.
Okay, I'm thinking of something completely different.
No. It's it's a super cop. And have you ever heard of Captain Underpants?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's similar type stuff where there's a dog that's his trusty little cop dog,
right? And
then the cop, but he's not very smart. The dog's smart, and the cop's not very good. So they get blown up, and when he goes to like the hospital, they sew the dog's head on the cop's body, and that's Dog Man.
Okay.
And he always has these nemesis that he
Most
fights.
importantly, did your son enjoy the movie?
He did. This is actually the first kids movie that I've gone to with him that I just decided to take a nap during it.
During the movie, yeah.
I did. This one I checked out.
Were you at Epic Theater with the reclining?
Make
it
Lord.
Easy for you to take that said nap?
Pushed a button, closed my eyes. Cash knew no anything but that he was just on his own. He was having a blast.
All right.
Having a blast. And Daddy took a nap.
Well, hey, Bill.
Hey, there we go.
Welcome to the DanaBuckler Show.
There's our warm-up there. I love it.
Always forget to do that.
But we catch up. You put these things on me, these headphones. And I start asking questions about just anything. And then... did you hit the button?
I did hit the button, and that's, we
always do that.
That always happens. I just hit the record button. So this is a catching up episode. We just recently released our Bloodsport commentary track.
I had so much fun doing that.
We've got more planned.
I can't wait. And I loved watching it already with the commentary.
Absolutely.
I was laughing so much.
Shout out to my friend Vincent with the Inglorious Rankers podcast out of the Netherlands. He actually did an episode with me where we counted down our favorite canon films, and he reached out to me and he's told me how much he enjoyed the episode.
Oh, so I wasn't too much of a crazy idiot?
No, okay. It was great. So just so you know, upcoming, we have Major League because baseball season's right around the corner, and then of course we have to do 1989's Roadhouse.
So pumped.
Absolutely. But this is catching up episode. This is where we just kind of catch up on what we've been doing, what we've been watching. We haven't done one of these in a while.
We were due. It was time.
We were due. And I just want to start by saying that, Bill, I just got back from a quick trip to New York City.
He even has his Yankee hat on.
I know. I'm telling you, this is a game-worn hat. And by game-worn, I mean I wore this to a game in 2023.
I was like, I'm not sure if they penciled you in the lineup for second base or something. No?
Absolutely. No, but it was so it was, when I say game-worn, I wore it at a game at Yankee Stadium. Did I ever tell you the story, my subway story?
No.
When I went to Yankee Stadium?
I have one too, but yours is probably better.
All right, so here, check this out. This is August 2023, okay?
Okay.
I'm up there for a week. Jess comes with me, but she has to leave a day early because of work obligations. So that Thursday that she left, I saw her off to an Uber, 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I had a day in New York City to myself. I had already purchased a ticket to the baseball game. Here's the thing. All right. Ubers are ungodly expensive in Manhattan. The first 2 days that we were there, we spent more than $450 on Ubers. Out of control. Out of control. So we finally said, fuck it, we're going to take the subway. Because you always hear about these awful things that happen, people getting pushed on subway platforms and craziness happening.
I kind of like the subway. I wish it was safer.
But the thing is this, it's $3.
Yeah.
And you get there faster than an Uber. All you have to do is figure out sort of the rudimentary schedule of, which train to get on. And
yeah, you could get lost too.
So we're staying in Soho, which is kind of in the southern part of Manhattan. And I have to get to Yankee Stadium for a 1:05 pitch on a Thursday afternoon. And I just happened to pull up the Uber. It was $100.
That's crazy.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to take the subway.
It's more than the ticket.
So I'm sure I'm getting my subway trains wrong, but it was like you take the C train to Columbus Circle, and then you get on the D train to the Bronx. What's interesting is the Manhattan trains were nice. They had digital readouts telling you exactly where you were. And as soon as I got on the Bronx train, it was like something out of the 70s.
Yeah.
All right. There was no digital readouts. I had to just, every time the train stopped, you'd see a little sign on the wall telling you where you were. So I had to figure out exactly.
Yeah, you better be paying attention because you could miss a couple stops if you're just.
So I get off, and it actually says Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
And plus, there was other people in there wearing Yankees gear. So
There's a giveaway. There's a dead giveaway there.
So what was funny though was there was some obvious tourists that were going to this game, and they see me, a guy by himself wearing a Yankees hat. Oh, he must know where he's going. So I climb up the stairs out of the subway platform. I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
And I've got a group of like 15 people following me. And I go 3 blocks in the wrong direction. And it's kind of a tougher neighborhood.
Yeah, you
all
think?
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking around and it was like, it's like something out of those old gangster movies where they got the elevated subway cars above you. And I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going. So I had to pull up Google Maps. And
finally.
And then I see Yankee Stadium in all its glory. So I go to the game. Good time.
Well,
where'd
they go?
Yes. So finally I stopped. I said, are you guys looking for Yankee Stadium? And they said, yeah. I said, so am I.
Oh, jeez.
So I get to the game, and it was my first time ever at Yankee Stadium. And I was there early enough to go check out like Monuments Park and the Yankees Museum. And look,
you have to do that.
Look, it's one of those bucket list things. You want to say you went, like, I still want to go to Wrigley.
Me too.
There's just,
we should go together.
I'm telling you,
I got to go to Wrigley.
There's things I want to do.
I have a goal: hot dog, beer in the outfield seats at Wrigley Stadium.
Exactly. So
Wrigley Field. Sorry.
Game was against the Nationals. Aaron Judge, I think he was batting third in the rotation. First pitch swing home run.
That's cool.
That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
Ricky Henderson was good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's some baseball knowledge. In the middle of a 162 game schedule, a lot of times the pitcher is just trying to get that first pitch over as a strike. Like you're not thinking about a matchup. You're not thinking about anything. You're just trying to get a strike. The pitcher wants to throw a strike on the first pitch of a game. And if you have a leadoff hitter that has some power, the old days, they would sit on that fat because they know it's coming. So you could sit on that. So there are some old leadoff hitters that have a ton of first pitch home runs. And I think Ricky was one of them.
Okay. All right.
It's pretty cool.
Famously with the Oakland Athletics, correct?
Well, he played with the A's. But I think that's where he stole his famous not the last one, but when he broke the record for baseball.
Okay.
Steals in a game.
So the game is great.
Yeah.
Having a great time. Weather was nice.
Cool place. What a place.
What a place.
Cool stadium.
Yankees were playing under 500 that season. Game was still sold out for a random matinee Thursday game in August where there was no chance they were going to make the playoffs.
Great fans.
I mean, just
great fans.
Incredible.
They love their Yankees.
I decided to leave around basically the top of the 7th because I had tickets to go to a Broadway show that day, and it took a half an hour, 40 minutes to get there. It was time for me to go. I got my experience.
Yeah.
So I get back on the D train heading back to Manhattan. Now, this is where it's important to know. I have learned that the ideal way to ride on a subway in New York is to not make eye contact with anyone and to look pissed off.
Sure.
Just sit there with a scowl on your face. It's
like you're in jail.
You know, just like exactly.
Yeah, go find the meanest guy and just beat the shit out of him.
Like you're on a holding tank in the county jail,
right?
You're scared shitless, but you're trying not to show it.
You can just growl. Yeah. So they'll just leave you alone if you look crazy.
Just get on the train. I'm heading there. I know where I'm getting off at. And this big monster of a guy gets on the next stop. This guy had to have been 6'4", maybe 340 pounds. Okay? Just a monster of a guy. And I can't help but notice out of my peripheral vision that he's trying to talk to every single person that's on that subway car.
Oh, boy, it's crazy. Giant and crazy.
And I'm by myself.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, and by the way, no cell phone service.
Oh, yeah.
No,
you're like down in the bottom of Earth down there.
And he's getting a little testy with a couple people, and he keeps making his way towards me. And look, for listeners out there, I'm 5'7".
Right.
You know? Like, I'm not a big guy. I'm not a physically opposing guy.
I don't think he was nervous to come up to you.
So he comes up, and finally he comes up to me, and I'm just like, oh, shit.
Here we go.
Shit. And he looks at me, he goes, hey, man. He goes, you coming from the game? And I've got a Yankee hat on. And I said, yeah, I am. Yeah. He goes, can't help but notice you're wearing flip-flops. Now, mind you, I'm a Florida guy.
Oh.
Flip-flops are what we wear in the summertime in Florida.
In Florida.
Okay. I don't think about it. I said, I am. He goes, you can't be wearing flip-flops on my train. I said, all right, well, not to worry. I'll be off in just a minute, buddy. He goes, no, I don't think you understand. You can't be wearing flip-flops on my train. That's a problem. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, except I'm getting off on the next stop. He goes, you got to worry about diseases when you wear flip-flops on my train. I said, I do, huh? Okay, well, duly noted.
This
Thank
guy
you.
wants a very healthy car.
And he goes, you should be wearing socks. And I said, well, yeah, I'll remember that. He goes, no, I got you. And he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a bag of white tube socks.
He's selling socks.
He goes, $5 for the bag.
Yes.
And I said, no, I'm good. He goes, we're going to have a problem if you don't buy these. And the train stops. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm out of here, buddy. Thank you.
That's a great sales pitch.
Yeah, it was aggressive.
I think I would have bought the socks.
I almost considered it just for him to leave me alone.
Right.
It was crazy. So
thank God that the stop was there.
I get off at Columbus Circle. I go to the edge of Central Park where all the hot dog vendors are. I get my New York hot dog and a soda, and I sit on the right on the steps of getting into the Central Park. It was awesome. Just sat there and ate a hot dog.
That's so cool.
Like a tourist.
Attaboy.
So that was 2023.
Yeah, socks and flip-flops are not a great look. You get the toe thing. Yeah. It's all weird looking.
You can wear them with like slides or,
maybe
like a sandal, if you will.
I'm not a big fan of socks and flip-flops.
No.
But some people pull that off, and I'm not sure what they're thinking.
Some people don't wear socks. Some people don't wear socks with shoes. Some wear them with flip-flops. It's all backwards, man. It's the world we're living in now.
I love it, though, Dana. Always a good time with you on a trip.
So just went to New York the day after the Super Bowl.
You did?
I did.
Like 10 days ago. That's right. Forgot. Yeah.
Let me tell you, not the day of the Super Bowl. It's the day after Super Bowl.
It was the day of? It was when you went up?
Yeah, when we went up. Yeah, it was that morning.
Okay.
So everything went flawless. You ever had one of those experiences where everything goes flawless?
Every day, Dana. Come on. Every day is like that for me.
We get to the Tampa airport. No line to check your bag. We go through TSA. Took 4 minutes.
Well, you flew out of the right airport for a while.
Did fly out of the right airport.
Tampa.
Okay.
Great airport.
Right. Flew American up there. Okay. Flight left on time. No turbulence. Landed in LaGuardia. Like everything went perfect. It was freezing.
That's all right.
It was cold.
Where did you watch the Super Bowl that day?
Sports bar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like just random. That's awesome.
Yeah, random. So what happens is we're up there to go to a taping of the Steve Wilkos Show.
Right.
You familiar with the Steve Wilkos Show?
Well, when you said it the first time, like when you told me like months prior to the trip, I was like, no, I didn't. No, but I know now.
That was the day after the Super Bowl, the Steve Wilkos Show.
Right.
Okay. Steve Wilkos Show is for those who don't know, if you remember Jerry Springer, especially
I know
in the
that.
90s.
Love Jerry.
Every time a fight broke out, one of his security guys was this big monster guy, bald head. Everybody knew who he was. They gave him his own talk show. He's been doing it for like 15 years.
So on Jerry's show, when just all hell starts to break loose, they would just start chanting Jerry,
Yes,
Jerry.
yes.
But Steve got famous on the show because the fans loved him so much. So then they would start chanting Steve.
That's right.
Steve.
And I'll get to that. Put a pin in that.
Good,
Put a pin in that. So the show is taped in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Why Connecticut?
Well, I'll tell you, that's where the studio is. So
Interesting.
we're staying at a Hyatt place on 36th by 6th Avenue and 36th, right by where the Macy's is, the big Macy's in Manhattan. Yeah. So that next day, we take a train from Penn Station, Amtrak to Stamford, Connecticut, 40 minute.
No way.
Yeah, really easy.
What a cool experience. It's fun to go to a city that big and use all the transit. That's cool.
You're reminded when you go to a place like that the entire Northeast sector of the United States is just all connected with an incredible infrastructure.
Right.
The train we were getting on, last stop Boston.
Wow.
Really? Yeah.
No way.
Like it was.
So you could take a train from New York City to Boston.
Absolutely. Well, that train originated from D.C.
Really?
With stops in D.C., Philly, New York, and final destination is Boston.
Sounds like a podcast. Just stay on and record and just like meet people along the way.
And those trains, they cook at about 85, 90 miles an hour when they're going. So we get to Stamford, Connecticut, which I'd never been to. And I'm telling you right now, as soon as you got off the train, you could smell the money.
Really?
I mean, this is where a lot of big financial institutions have their corporate headquarters on the East Coast.
So it's nice.
Building like they have the WWE headquarters are there, and there's these two massive 15-story buildings with the big WWE logo on them.
Really?
That's what you see as soon as you get out of the train station. I looked it up. The average medium income, a household income, is $175,000 a year.
I think ESPN's up there.
Yes, yeah, they are.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
There's studios.
Cool.
There's recording studios everywhere.
Okay.
So we get there, and we've reserved our tickets ahead of time. We wait in line outside. It's 28 degrees.
And how much are the tickets?
They're free.
Really? And did you have to request or sign up?
Yeah. So you go on the website. You pick a particular day that they're filming. They record on Mondays and Tuesdays. You pick a particular day, and you submit for tickets. And then in a week's time, they write you back and say, yes, we can give you 3, 4, whatever, however many tickets you want.
Where do you watch this? I don't watch regular TV anymore. How do you watch this guy's show?
So Steve Wilkos, like Maury Povich, like all of these shows, are what's called syndicated shows.
Okay. All right.
So you're going to see them on local broadcast television. So, for example, ABC, NBC, or out of Orlando, they pay to license these shows for their afternoon television programming. So they license these shows, and that's why they're kind of always on during the 4 o'clock hour or 3 o'clock hour.
Sure, I get it. Okay, so that's why the tickets are free. They're like, we got to fill the studio, but we're already getting paid.
These shows make millions
of dollars. No way.
Because they're syndicated.
Yeah, I guess so. So every city, they're all paying?
Well, if they choose...
okay, so not every city.
I own a television station out of Gainesville, Florida. Obviously, let's say it's an NBC station. What am I guaranteed? I'm guaranteed the Today Show. I'm guaranteed the 6:30 NBC Nightly News. And, of course, the primetime programming from 8 to 11. Besides that, I have to fill the station with programming.
That's where you get Seinfeld or Friends back in the day.
Exactly.
So that's how they're getting paid way after these. All right, I got it.
So you syndicate the shows. And if I want to buy, the more popular the show, the more it costs for me to have it on my network. But I then get to charge advertisement while that show's playing. It's a well-oiled machine.
Cool. Okay.
But they make millions. So tickets are free.
Good for Steve.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself.
Poor Jerry.
Jerry, yeah.
R.I.P., right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I met that guy once. Anyway, go ahead.
So, we're standing in line, and it is a cast of characters waiting for this. Because
I can't imagine.
Because you get free food in there. They provide you with food, like pizzas
in a green room or something?
Yeah, basically. Well, the green room holds 100 plus people.
Right, for the audience. The green
audience,
room, it's not really a green room.
So you can tell, and a lot of these people in line, they're regulars.
Right, because they know they're getting free food.
Yeah.
and they get to have fun.
Yeah,
watch a crazy show.
Like there is. So we wait in line. They let us in, and we have to go through metal detectors, security, and all of that stuff. And so we go up to the producers, and it's these two female producers, and they just kind of have this aura about them where they're television producers, like you see in the movies, right? They're nice, but they're judging all of us. They're sizing us all up.
Well, the Price is Right used to do that. They'd pick who they wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So all right, they're looking at you going, look at this guy.
We check in, and Jess and I are dressed to the nines. Like we're trying.
Like nice or crazy?
Yeah. No, like nice. Like,
okay.
Like, I've got
like you're a LA producer?
I've got like a black 3/4 Michael Kors jacket on. Like
glasses? Do you have the black glasses?
I have the black glasses.
Yes.
All right. I'm trying to look the part.
Got it.
And we get up there, and I'm somebody who's always observing things. And I'm observing that they're giving each person a different color-coded ticket. All right. Some people are getting a red ticket. Some are getting a green. Some are getting a blue. And some are getting a yellow.
What'd you get?
We got yellow. Okay. Jess and I got yellow. So then they take us into the holding area, the green room, if you will. And they've got some
Was it
TV.
just yellow people in there?
Yeah, right. So they've got all these TVs on the wall, and they're just showing clips from the Steve Wilkos Show. They also record the Maury Povich Show there. Like it's a whole production thing.
Cool. Okay.
We sit there. Then they come out. A lady comes out on a microphone and says, "Guys, we're so excited to have you all here." And a couple rules of the house. Number one, when you sit down, please take off your jackets. No hats. No chewing gum. The whole nine. Okay. Anybody with a yellow ticket, come on in. And that was the first one.
First color?
First color.
Was yellow?
Was yellow. So Jess and I walk up there. They put us right in the front row.
Right, yellow's up front.
Center front row.
So you got the right color. Right. They liked your look. They made
us sign a release form because we're going to be seen in the audience. So we had to sign a release form.
Like on the TV screen, you would see you.
Yeah.
When the hell is this going to be shot?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure. Okay.
So I have never done something like this before. This is Jess. Jess does this all the time. Well, all the time. She's done this.
But she's done it before.
She's done it several times. So she's kind of like talking me through what's going to happen. And it's so interesting because you're sitting in this studio, and you've seen these talk shows before.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Not in a while, but yeah, of course.
It's exactly what you think it is.
But it's just surreal. It has to be surreal.
Beyond
you're
surreal.
There watching the shit show live.
And they come out, and then they tell you, all right, here's the thing, okay? There's cameras here, cameras here, cameras here, cameras here. All right, we have dedicated cameramen that their job is just to get audience reactions. So, there's going to be a camera right next to your face. Do not look at the camera. Pretend the camera is not there.
Okay.
You need to be focused on Steve and his guests.
Or the crazy people.
They're the crazy. And there were some crazy people.
I bet. I can't wait to hear that. Or watch this thing. I can't wait to watch this show.
And they said, we're going to be filming 3, they call them stories.
Okay.
All right, we're going to be filming 3 stories. This is 3 separate episodes.
Like 3 separate shit shows.
Yeah. All
different? Is it like the reveal thing?
So every one of them was lie detector results. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The first one,
and they're real, right?
They're real.
These people are nuts.
They're real.
I love it. Okay,
and then Steve comes out.
Is he still bald, shiny, bald, same look?
He comes out and he just does a little audience Q&A, and people just ask him random questions. Hey, one person said, "Hey, what's your best memory with Jerry?" Just
typical shit, whatever.
Little crowd warm up, if you will.
Gets him kind of warmed into the crowd too.
Absolutely.
He gets
and so they say, okay, we're going to start filming. And these cameras on cranes come. One camera came right down in front of my face, but it was pointing at Steve, so I couldn't see. It was blocking my view.
I got it, yeah. So it's like really zoomed in on his face.
Yeah, but the way the camera...
God, you must have been right up in there.
I was loving this, okay?
Awesome. Okay.
But I'm going to be honest with you. The first story was so heavy that there was a part of me that kind of wanted to lean in and say, Jess, if they're all going to be like this, I don't want to be. I don't want to
too much for you.
It was. I'm trying to really skirt around it, but it was a mother who was accusing the father of her daughter of doing something incredibly inappropriate.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. So like boyfriend, she's married to him.
No, no.
Like boyfriend,
but
a single mom with a daughter and some jackass.
And it's the father. It's the father of her daughter.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
But they're not married.
Of course
they're not.
but he's being accused of the worst possible
I got
thing.
it. Understood. That is a little deep.
And I was just sitting
How
there
are
going,
people not? So the results come out on the show, of course.
The results come out, but the whole process filming one story takes about 40 minutes because they don't take commercial breaks. The commercial breaks only happen when you watch the show
because they edited
it all
cut
together.
out like a little break.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
So they bring this girl out and this lady out and she starts talking about all the, the warning signs and blah, blah, blah. And then they finally bring the father out and the crowd just boo.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Boo, boo, boo.
But that's the fun part. Booing this.
And
idiot.
he comes out and he's like trying to explain himself. And then they bring the lie detector results out.
Oh, they've already done
the test.
Okay.
So they bring the lie detector results out. And turns out this guy failed his polygraph test.
No.
And Steve says,
how do they not murder him on site?
So Steve says to the guy, you know what? I hope you enjoy a long time. He said it's something to the effect of, I hope you enjoy prison, buddy. Now get the fuck off my stage.
That's what he said it like that?
Yeah, because there's tons of bad language, like cussing left and right.
Like he has to get arrested, right? That's not legal.
So I have no idea what happens next.
They need to... Yeah, this guy needs to go to jail.
So
how old was the girl?
Oh, the
like
both
a teenager?
Both of them had to be in their early 20s.
Oh, jeez.
And I remember like this is...
That's
like,
crazy.
I've seen these type of episodes before, and I don't like them then. And to see it in person, like I was just like, this is uncomfortable.
I agree with you.
The next one was just a classic. I think my man or I think my girl is cheating.
That's
on me.
awesome.
All right, we're back to the good stuff.
Now I'm in.
But
did they all cheat? They have to have.
No,
right? No way.
It turns out in this one, everyone passed their results.
For episode 2?
Episode 2. Turns out nobody was cheating.
How many couples?
There's like 3 people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And none of them cheated.
And none of them cheated.
You're shitting me.
Yeah, it was great.
Do you think people go on the show because they just want to be on TV?
I don't know.
You
how
don't
it
know.
Works,
You can't tell. But they looked authentic. You could tell they weren't lying.
It was 100% authentic.
Because they can't
They're
act.
from different parts of the country.
Okay.
They're flown in. They're put in a hotel room, the whole nine.
Okay.
And then the third one was about a lady who went missing, and she's been missing for a couple of years. And it was the mom thought that her friend knew more than what she was letting on about. And the friend turned out to be just a charming, bubbly personality type person who it turned out did not know more than what she was. Like she was innocent of.
Really?
Yeah.
All these are nice people.
Yeah.
Except the first jackass.
The first one was heavy.
You could make, what's that Tubi? You could make a movie out of one of these.
I'm telling you.
Jess is probably going to, she's already writing.
She's
got a script already.
So they invited us to stay for another taping, but by this point, it's late in the afternoon, and we have a train to catch back to.
I'm sure you had a cool dinner set up or something.
Well, we went to find a little place to have a bite to eat in Stamford because we had maybe about an hour 10 before our train was going to. And we found this nice restaurant. All the restaurants are nice in Stamford.
What's the local fare? Like, what's Connecticut known for? Similar to Maine, seafood, or just whatever?
I think Stamford,
Italian?
Connecticut is still considered metropolitan New York. I think it's still considered like the greater New York
it's like
area.
a melting pot of just.
So I think every restaurant there is represented. We went to this Italian restaurant, and she ordered a ravioli dish, and I actually had a burger because the burger sounded really good. We had dinner plans later that night.
Oh, this is
This is like a late lunch. This is like a late lunch.
Good for you. I love vacation.
And so the food comes, and Jess asks the server. The server says, "How is everything?" And Jess says, "This is really good. Could I get some bread?" And the server goes, "Bread? We don't have bread." And walks away. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? What the hell was that? I said, what is that? So
no bread for you.
No bread for you. So and then the rest of the trip, everything was great.
So this whole trip was good. I mean, we only talked a couple times, but every time we've gotten together, we've been busy, so we haven't really caught up with that.
This was a good trip. So
did you have dinner in New York?
We did. We had lunch at Tavern on the Green in Central Park.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah, and it was really expensive.
It was so expensive. There was
gotta be
four
kidding
of us.
me.
It was like $480.
You got to be shitting.
And we're
me.
talking chicken sandwiches and burgers.
You had lunch for $100 a head.
Yeah.
Oh my
More,
God.
120 a head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
And no other restaurant that we ate at came close to those kind of prices. And I've been to New York enough to know, when restaurants are going to be expensive. This was a tourist trap.
It is, but it's
But
in
it's
Central
a
Park.
beautiful
Tavern
restaurant.
On the Green. It's so
legendary.
iconic. It's legendary.
1934. it
Wow,
opened.
that's cool.
And it's also for our movie fans out there, since you're listening to this podcast, the scene in Ghostbusters when Rick Moranis is being chased by the ghost dog out of his apartment. He runs across Central Park and he goes to a restaurant. And he's banging on the glass window. Somebody help me.
That was it?
That was Tavern on the Green.
It's probably the table you sat at to.
We asked for the Moranis table. So
It's also in another movie you hate that I love, Made from Swingers. They went Favreau
yes.
and what's his name?
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, so Favreau and Vince Vaughn made another movie with Columbo. And I love Made. You hate it. But there's a scene with Puff Daddy, which is another whole discussion.
That's also somewhat problematic now.
It's when I used to like that guy, and he was actually a pretty good actor. He's eating lunch in that restaurant.
You know what? I'll give that movie another rewatch.
Well, it's hard at the beginning because Vince Vaughn is so annoying on purpose, obviously.
Yeah.
That it's a hard watch when he's on the airplane talking to the stewardess. You're like, if he's going to be like this the whole movie. Now, he is pretty bad the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's an interesting choice that his character, that Vince makes as an actor to sort of play him that way.
It's times 10 on annoying scale. But the thing with the club and Screech coming in, another RIP, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. Dustin Diamond.
Yeah. There's a hilarious scene with Screech. So anyway, Tavern on the Green, what an epic, legendary restaurant.
Here's what I will say. Service was impeccable. The food for what it was good.
Right.
I mean, it was a little pricey.
I bet the plating was nice.
Everything about it. I mean, there was coat check.
Yeah.
You know, I come in there. May I take your coat, sir? Absolutely. Okay, coach. Yeah, I mean, it was so.
Well, what a trip.
Yeah. So
what a trip.
So good time. Cold the whole time, and a different type of cold. Like here in Florida, you know, you might wake up and it's 38 degrees, but it's in the 70s by the afternoon.
Yeah, like yesterday almost.
Up there, you wake up, it's 21 degrees, and it's 31 by the afternoon. And walking around Manhattan, because one morning...
Did you see the sun?
Yeah, it was...
Well, the buildings are so high there.
In Central Park, the day we were there wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Oh, cool.
And it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. It was beautiful. Jess was sleeping. I woke up at like 6:30 one morning, and I just went for a walk. And the city is just alive. Even at 6:30 in the morning. It's insane.
Would you say New York is on its way back to being... Like, you got a good vibe walking around the streets.
I got a better vibe this time than 2 years ago when I was up there in 2023.
We need New York to be all the way back to where in its glory days, because I love that city. As a Floridian, I love New York City, especially Manhattan. It's awesome.
It's an interesting time up there.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they're fighting their way back just to be safe and all that stuff.
At no point did I felt a little bit more nervous the last time I was up there. This go around, things just seemed to be a lot smoother. It just seemed cleaner.
I love when real life happens during recording.
What's going on?
My son's baseball practice got canceled because it's raining out or it's wet. You know, it's a Little League field. So if it gets a lot of rain, and I hate to be happy of that, but I need a break.
Yeah.
And I'll play catch with him or something after school, but I'm like, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So
too wet. Yeah,
speaking of catch
and
catching up.
Yeah.
Bill, I got to ask you, you know, we do focus a lot on the entertainment industry on this podcast. And we did a really good end of the year show where we talked about, you know, what things that stood out to us in 2024.
Did you release that?
I did, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good. God, I'm such a bad guest.
Absolutely.
I listened. I had to.
Tell me some things that you've been watching.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple things I'll mention as well along the way.
Well, I mean, I've been busy. So before I'm just going to highlight one thing that I've been doing. Oh, by the way, I always tell the listener, I know the listeners really care about this. They care. Dana always has a candle for me.
Try to have it a different one every time.
And this one's different. There's no writing on the outside, and I just fought my way to figure out what the scent is. So I picked it up. Sand and fog.
That's exactly it.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't either, but it sounded enticing enough for me to say this is going in the DBS studio.
Well, I appreciate just the attention to detail to have the ambiance.
Yes. Oh, and if we're talking, we're going around the studio. If we have a new addition on the wall. We have the Major League poster. Well, that's not even
it's
a poster.
A replica of a movie poster, but it's a metal.
It's a metal. Yeah, it's awesome. It's right above my picture of James Dean.
We're going to fill this whole studio with movie
Absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to do the live commentary of that.
That's going to be fun.
So you know what else I did? So to get ready for that, I watched it once, but I'm probably going to watch it like 4 times.
All right.
I went all the way back to like 2019. So I've been on the show, I think, 5 years now.
God, it's been a while.
So
yeah.
my first episode with you was a baseball themed show.
3-parter.
3 parts. And I hadn't listened to it in years. I was surprised that I didn't sound like a idiot, because that was the first time I actually talked into a microphone. Those shows are pretty good.
Well, the thing is this, Bill, like you came on there with an expertise. You had a knowledge of the topic.
That helps.
You know, you knew baseball. You were selling, not selling, but teaching me about baseball.
A little. I mean, I just the small little details that the average person doesn't know.
Yeah.
Unwritten rules. It was great. So anyway, I appreciate that. And I had my top 10 baseball movie. That was a great re-listen, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been that long, by the way.
I know.
So anyway, what have I been doing? Well, we just started filming our kind of high fade series, our reality show of the crazy golf group that I started.
Yeah,
so we just started filming it. You know, you were there. So episode 1, we actually were editing last night, episode 1 of High Fade season 3. I can't believe it. And I think we have tens of listeners or watchers and viewers. We have tens and dozens of people. We'll get there one day, because the goal of us is to raise money to give back to charity.
Sure.
But anyway, the shenanigans of our 28 players and 26 wives now, because the famous line that we did in one of the intros was 24 players
And 26 wives.
No, 23 wives.
That's it. 24
but
players.
we expanded now.
Right.
Now we have 28 guys. We've expanded. Now I have 2 single guys. So now it's 28 players, but 26 wives. So anyway, we started editing and filming ongoing and having a blast. And you did a great job. We ran a live draft. Dana ran the draft. That was so awesome.
It really came together.
It did.
You understand, like, there was a lot of technical prowess that was necessary.
We have a staff of 3 too.
Yeah.
It'd be easy if we had a lot of people.
Like, just so everybody pictures this, all right, at the venue, all right, I've got my entire DJ set up with all the speakers. We've got a projection on the wall, which is in real time going through the draft picks. Right. And of course we are adding the NFL draft sound effects. It was I thought really well put together.
I agree. And when we were editing it shows well. And then I had that idea of kind of taking a pause or a timeout and analyzing the first 4 picks. You and Cole crushed that too on the rewatch. Me and Cole were just dying laughing with some of the stuff. So we're only going to get better.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Because we're going to Marion Theater this year, and we're going to show all the stuff on a full movie screen. I can't wait to see all of it, but we'll just get better with that draft. The guys loved what you did with the draft, and I think, like you said, we'll just get all the names like on its own slide.
Yeah.
So the names are giant, and you could just click the name. So anyway, well done, Dana. Just blew it out of the water there.
At a blast.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was so much fun.
So... I have shows and stuff that I can. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about a movie first.
Movie. Well, all right. So I have one. I wrote one down because I knew you're always trying to put me on the spot. So I did a little homework. I've been watching tons of movies, but one that kind of caught my eye, and somebody mentioned it to me too. Actually, Rob Main, one of our old friends of the Tuesday show.
That's right, Rob Main.
Told me about a show, and usually when he tells me something, it's Star Wars or just some like kind of weird thing. So I didn't really look at it, but then I saw it, pop up on my streaming service. So I clicked on it. It's called The Gorge. It's on Apple TV, and it's Miles Teller. Is it Miles Teller?
Miles Teller. Yeah.
I don't want to screw up these guys.
Top Gun Maverick.
He's Rooster, right?
Yeah.
He's not like the new Goose.
He's Goose's son.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm
Bill,
getting old, Dana. I'm getting old.
You and I saw that. We saw a sneak preview of Top Gun Maverick a week before it came out in IMAX.
And then I dressed up as Tom Cruise.
Oh, yes.
Not in a good way, but I tried my best.
You got accused of stolen valor.
That guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was so mad at me. We're at the bar, and this guy's like, "Where'd you get that jacket?" I was like,
"No, this is a prop movie jacket from Top Gun. It looks badass."
Right.
And this old timer sitting at the bar drinking a beer who I guess was in the Navy or something.
He had to have been in something.
He called you out on it. He goes, "Why are you wearing that jacket?" And we're like, "Hey, buddy, we're going
because I'm having fun, pal." Yeah. You see my rattleskin boots here, buddy?
Yeah,
I mean, I had the dog tags and a white T-shirt. The only thing I was missing is a motorcycle.
You had the Ray-Bans, the aviators. You had everything.
just trying to have fun, man. Come on. That guy wanted to take me out and beat the shit out of me. The guy was so mad. Anyway, The Gorge, I think it's on Apple TV. So I'm starting to notice that, some of these studios or whatever, they're putting out pretty good content. It's just a different game. You know the game better than I do. But some of the movies that come out of Hulu or Apple or Netflix, some of them are pretty good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know if the budgets are smaller and they're just simpler, the cast is smaller, but I think The Gorge is very interesting. And I don't know if it's based on a book or just an idea.
Well,
you have seen it. You haven't heard
I have
it?
not seen it. I've heard of it. I have not seen it, but it's it's the two main characters are guarding something or protecting something.
A gorge. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's not just a clever title.
No, it's actually really part of the movie. So it kind of starts out as this. I'll try to just go layman's short, quick. We'll figure it out.
We call it the 60-second elevator pitch.
Right.
The idea was you would get on an elevator with a hotshot producer, and you'd have until the elevator ride was over to pitch your movie.
So I have the same thing in my job, but I do a poor job of that. I like to take my time and ramble. I'm horrible at that quick pitch. Not my style. But anyway, I'm going to do my best. Miles Teller's kind of mercenary, ex-military, sniper, very good at what he used to do. And now it seems like he's just kind of a loner. So he fits what they need, right? And then, so you get to learn him at the beginning, and then you also learn his female counterpart, which he didn't know what he was getting in for. Sigourney Weaver is kind of this, if you watch Lioness, Sigourney Weaver is the Nicole Kidman of this situation, where she's kind of this, you're not sure if she's in the military or if it's some underground company or whatever. You don't know what she is, but she's in charge. So she hires Miles Teller, and he's like, yeah, I'll go. He just wants to get paid and just go do some military black ops thing.
Yeah.
But you also learn there's another role, but he doesn't know her. And that's Anya Taylor-Joy, which she was in Queen's Gambit.
She's in Furiosa.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Furiosa.
You know that.
A movie that a movie that came out, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Probably the movie I'm most conflicted about over the past 5 or 6 years.
And you know me, I'm simple. I liked it, but I don't look at it in depth that you do.
I'm so conflicted with that movie because I think it's exceptionally good, but bad at the same time. If that makes any sense.
Knowing you, I get that, but to me, that's why I like it.
The issue is that it's a very compelling story and narrative, and the sequences are phenomenal, and it's one of the better quote-unquote prequels that have been made, kind of because it's the same guy, George Miller. It's not like some studio bought the property 30 years later and just doing a prequel. It's him telling a story that literally leads up to the moment that Mad Max Fury Road begins. The problem is the CGI, and it's heavy in that movie, looks like shit.
There you go.
And that's the issue I have with the movie. Otherwise, I'm all in.
Well, she was kind of cool in that.
Yeah.
And she's got a cool look.
She's not even in the movie for the first hour.
She's very exotic looking. Yeah. So anyway, she's Russian. Teller's American. They don't know each other. They get sent to this gorge. And there's just 2 towers sitting opposite each other on each side of the gorge. And it's far enough that they couldn't talk. You couldn't hear. If they were yelling, you couldn't hear.
Right.
But they actually start communicating, and they're not supposed to. So when he gets there, there's a dude already in the tower. He's been there for a whole year. And it's all right, hey, buddy, bye. I'm going to take over for the next year.
Wow.
But Teller didn't know anything. He just got dropped off in the dark, goes to the tower because he's got GPS. He knows to go there. And then this guy's giving him a crash course of what he did for the last year. So anyway, you're off and running, but you find out that when the guy that's been there for a year goes to to pick up the helicopter pickup there, they murder him.
Okay, say no more. Stop there.
So you're like, uh-oh.
Are they? So it's basically 2 different countries represented?
No, it's like in Sweden. No, but you find out that there's about 4 countries that are really trying to protect the gorge
for some reason
you find out pretty quick. Okay. Yeah, you find out pretty fast.
Okay, yeah. But don't tell me.
And there's an interaction with obviously a good-looking girl and a good-looking dude So there's a little bit of a relationship built there, and then all hell breaks loose in the gorge too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Is this a recommend?
yes.
Okay.
If you paid $15 and spent your whole night at dinner, and then you went to the movie, that's the thing with these new movies. Yeah, you have the expectations of the old days when you're like, that movie was unbelievable. If I paid all that money and time, I'd be like, well, that sucked. But if it's free on my streaming service and I'm on my couch, I'm like, that movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, and it's also sad.
But that's the reality of these shows.
And that's the reality we live in.
But I highly recommend it if you like kind of an action type / military thing that you don't have anything else to do.
Here's something to think about. All right. Apple, if you look at Hulu, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, would you agree that Apple has kind of the smallest library of all of those streaming services?
Yeah, but they have the bigger actors.
Yeah, it's a very curated library they have on Apple TV Plus. Or
I
whatever.
agree, totally agree.
It's not
different model for them.
It's different, but do you know why?
I
have a theory. I have a theory
because I like almost everything they've done.
Here's a theory. Okay. Is Apple counting on the revenue they make from their streaming service?
Nope,
not at all.
It's almost like a little side project.
Same thing with Amazon. Amazon is not a streaming service.
But
I know.
They have a ton.
But the thing is they make their money. They make their money through their Amazon. Yeah. That's why their stock's trading thousands of dollars a share.
I don't even know if I'm paying for the Prime.
Exactly.
What am I paying? Care. I don't even know. They don't care. That's why it's great.
Apple has always been known as a prestige product. Okay?
Sure.
So the iPhone is the prestige smartphone. Their headphones, Apple doesn't make anything cheap. There's no cheap Apple products out there.
It's
good.
It's good.
Right? So that's the model that they want to use for their streaming service. Okay?
Okay.
It's not going to be a lot to choose from, but it's going to be good.
Well, I like that.
Okay? Because we can afford to not worry about retention. All right? Our subscribers, they're in the Apple ecosystem. Amazon on the other one is just we'll put anything on Amazon.
Well, they got Reacher just came out. I like the Amazon stuff too.
Sure, but
I feel you here. I get it.
But when you look at something like a Netflix, they're 100% a streaming service. That's what they do.
That's what they are.
They have no other income.
Didn't they start that Redbox DVD thing like a vending machine? Wasn't that Netflix?
That was not Netflix. Was DVDs through the mail?
Oh, through the mail.
Mm-hmm. Which was a pretty good service at the time.
It was real. Didn't they go to Blockbuster and go, hey, by the way, you want to partner with us? And Blockbuster went, nah, we're good.
So
what's that story? I forget. I think that's what happened.
And we could dedicate a whole episode to it. But the bullet points of that story is that at some point in the early 2000s, Netflix goes to Blockbuster and says, hey, we think streaming is going to be the future. And we're already having some success with the DVDs through the mail. And we think that we need an infusion of capital.
They wanted to partner with them
to get this streaming service. And
it was like their Shark Tank.
We're willing to sell you controlling interest in Netflix for $50 million. And we will continue to run the project. We'll continue to do everything, but we think this streaming thing is going to be the future. And if you'll acquire us for $50 million, that's the capital that we'll need. And you'll have a controlling interest in the company.
Right.
And Blockbuster said, no, this streaming thing's never going to be because the technology wasn't there. It wasn't there. And whoops.
That's like Shark Tank.
Yeah. And so Netflix put Blockbuster out of business.
Well, they didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But they did.
And
I used to work so one of your dinner and the movies.
Yeah.
Because I used to work at Blockbuster Video and I still have my name tag.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wear I have to go buy all the stuff, but I want to wear the Blockbuster outfit. And so it was khaki pants, leather woven belt. Remember the old woven belts?
Yeah.
Sorry if you still wear those, listeners. A blue Oxford dress shirt.
Did it have like a yellow collar?
No.
Where's
no, that evolved.
Okay.
So originally it was just this blue Oxford like dress shirt.
All right.
And then they wanted to get all casual, so they went to like this cheap golf polo.
Like polo, yeah.
But originally when I worked there in the early 90s, it was this Oxford like crappy dress shirt.
It was pretty crazy to watch sort of the last gasps of Blockbuster with all the different things they tried to do to keep the customers coming there. First thing they did was eliminate late fees. Okay. By the way, video stores used to make millions, millions
on that
from the they used to charge.
It was per day.
They used to charge 50 cents if you didn't rewind your tape, your
kind
VHS. Be
and
kind,
rewind.
They made so much money off that. Then it was late fees. So they eliminated late fees. Okay, so people were just like, well, fuck it, I'll just keep the DVD for a week. So then they went to a subscription model, which was like $20 a month, unlimited rentals, but it was one at a time.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I do, because someone like myself would take full advantage of it. I'd get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be the Blockbuster open at 10 or 11. I'd go there, I'd rent a movie, I'd watch it, I'd bring it right back, rent another one. I'd do that 3 movies a day.
Why not? If you're really getting into movies, that's the best thing ever.
But and then they tried to do a streaming service. It was sad.
Yeah, now they're like, ooh, we screwed up with Netflix. Let's try to copy them and just
It was, by that point the damage was done.
Yeah, you remember those, like the movie poster would be in this like lights going around a frame or whatever, that the marquee type thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I got one of those things. It weighed like 200 pounds, 100 pounds. I don't know how much it weighed. It was heavy. I got one and I brought it to my room. So in my room in my house, I had the whole light up thing.
That's awesome.
And I probably had, you'd hate me, I probably had every movie poster from the 90s, like 90.
Did you have a Boondock Saints poster in there?
No, I did not.
All right, thank goodness.
There's some photos that I probably have my parents' house that I could go find all the movie posters, but it was kind of when The Fugitive came out, like that.
Well, that's 93.
Yeah, so I was.
So it would have come out on a home video around 94.
The Ref.
Dennis Leary?
Yeah.
The Ref?
So, yeah, I can remember all these like movies, but one wall in my room had all the posters. And I had that thing all blinking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So anyway, well, that's my movie.
All right, so The Gorge.
I would say recommend, not strongly recommend, but if you're like me and you just want something to watch, and you don't feel like your series and you need a break, click it on, have some popcorn. You'd have to stream it if you don't have Apple TV, which, my streaming service has it. That's where I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Go for that. All right. And I have some TV series.
All right, let's
all right, so, well, I've got 2 series that I really want to recommend, and then I just, as usual, I'll have about 5 or 6 rapid fire.
All right.
So I'll start with the first one that you might not know because it's on Hulu. I don't know so there's a show called Paradise, not The Paradise or A Paradise. It's just called Paradise.
Paradise,
it's on Hulu.
okay.
Paradise is on Hulu. It's
right.
a series. Great cast. So a show that we watched back in the day when we used to actually watch NBC shows or ABC. I mean, no offense, I cannot watch a series on a regular channel anymore. There's
commercials.
Well, the commercials, and they're just made differently. You could tell. They to me, all that shit sucks.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's terrible.
Different world.
It's so weird. My brain works differently now. It's just not the same. I can't watch it. So anyway, this guy used to be on This Is Us, a giant show on NBC.
Sure, that was a big show.
Sterling K. Brown.
This
guy is a serious actor. Like, this guy is legit.
He was in the People versus O.J. Simpson, the television show.
Yeah.
Where Cuba Gooding Jr. played O.J., Travolta played Shapiro. Sterling K. Brown was in that show, and he was incredible.
He is. This dude is the real deal when it comes to act. This guy's real.
He's the man.
And I let the other. I mean, there's a bunch of people in this, but James Marsden's in it. And as you know, all the kids stuff I watched, all the Sonic movies that have come out, 1, 2, and 3, and they're all awesome. He's kind of Sonic's Earth dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's hilarious in this.
So weird to see James Marsden. Like, I remember as growing up.
What was he in? What?
He was in like the X-Men movie 25 years ago. He's just, The fact that he's like old enough to play like
Well, he plays the president in
that's what I'm talking about. The fact that he's old enough to play the president now is just a little strange.
And obviously a young president, but he
Yeah.
doesn't look young. I mean, he looks like he's just like in his 40s.
Yeah.
But it's slightly a serious role for him, and he knocks it out of the park. He's from Kentucky, and his dad was a billionaire, like political guru, and he pretty much makes him the governor of Kentucky, and then ends up being president.
Wow.
But anyway, Paradise, what happens is it's one of these, like, I wouldn't say survival things, but like all of life is in a bunker. So,
it's like a post-apocalyptic.
oh yeah.
thing,
Thank you for saying that word. I hate trying to say that
But
word.
we've seen so many movies,
Yes.
like and
So
so
why
many TV
this?
shows. So
Right,
what sets this one apart for you?
So 25, they build a bunker in one of the mountains in the Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
All right. So they needed it big enough so you felt like, at least what I've learned is they wanted it big enough so you felt like real life. So there's 25,000 people inside, right? And apparently you couldn't live outside. And they don't really get in if it's a tidal wave or just like what the hell happened. They kind of hint it, but it doesn't matter. You can't live outside. So they rush 25,000 people in there. Some are normal people, some are scientists, just the typical shit you're used to. But our guy is kind of the main Secret Service lead agent for James Marsden, president. So he's his protector,
right?
And they have a great relationship. And this is one of those ones I was telling you earlier. Like, you get a movie, and then there's a prequel and a sequel. So my theory on some of these TV series that do these flashbacks, it's almost like there's 16 prequels because they flash back to teach you about like why are they doing what they're doing, and you get these flashbacks.
Right.
So this is one where you see a lot of flashbacks, which I don't mind that
The kind
at
of
all.
how we got here.
Yeah, and I don't mind that anymore. I remember back in the day, I'm like, oh my God, another flashback. This is getting confusing. But it teaches you, and you get used to watching it that way. So anyway.
I'm sorry to cut you off for a second, but I'm always remembering the movie Funny Farm when Chevy Chase makes his wife read his book, the manuscript, and she's like,
Didn't she hate it?
She goes, I hate it. She goes, you had so many flashbacks and flash forwards. I think you even had a flash sideways.
That's right. That is hilarious. I do remember that. Oh my God.
That might be a great commentary one.
Funny Farm. I'm all in. That's the lamb fries,
that's exactly it. The lamb fries.
You got to clip. The trick is you got to clip them up real high.
Most people don't have a taste for testicles.
He's gonna break the record tonight. Oh my God, that is
Such
funny.
a great movie.
I do like that.
That's
one.
a great movie.
That is funny. So, what you always say, like, what's the incident?
What's the inciting incident?
Yeah, inciting incident?
Because the way you describe it, it's paradise. They got it all figured out.
It's not paradise.
They have a civilized setting.
Yep.
Something has to happen to make the show move forward.
Oh yeah, there's a murder.
There's a murder. Obviously, it's a high profile murder.
Yes.
Okay.
I won't say who, but there's a very, very high profile murder, and then you find out that someone's kind of the puppet master of this whole world. There's a couple puppet masters.
How many episodes have you watched?
I think I'm up to date. So it's so new that I think that it's still like being dropped.
Okay.
I think I've watched 5 or 6.
Okay.
We should probably So there's only 6 episodes.
That's it.
That's what this says, and I'm on number 6. Oh shit!
Wow.
So I'm.
Does the story, like from what you've seen, does it feel like it's been wrapping up?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
No.
Well, we're gonna have a cliffhanger.
That means maybe
just like Landman.
Oh well, I'm not caught up there either yet.
I've watched the whole series of Landman.
It's good.
I'll finish it. Well, yeah, put that on I'll put a pin on
I
that.
probably have like 8 series I'm watching all at the same time, which is crazy. But anyway, apparently I'm on the last episode.
Or are they only saying that there's 6 episodes available?
Well, that's on that thing.
Oh, and okay, it's on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's saying 6 series.
6 episodes.
Oops, 6 episodes. Yes.
Okay.
So I might be caught up here in like, the next 30 minutes of sitting down. Totally worth it. Great acting.
Okay.
It's very well done. And yes, it's been done. A murder whodunit, I get it. In a bunker. But there's a lot of twists and turns. And they did go out. They did send a crew to go out to see.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm going to start watching that one today. You sold me.
Don't lie to me.
You sold me. I got an afternoon.
Now, see that? So look, this is saying 8 episodes. When you go to
See, that's what I'm saying.
Wikipedia.
I think the Wikipedia is basically saying that 6 episodes have been dropped so far.
So I think there's 2 more, which
we're
makes me feel...
We're not in Britain. In Britain, most television series are just 6 episodes.
Well, you know what? I feel a lot better.
So, okay, all right.
Okay, good.
All right.
So I can't wait.
All right, so real quick, my thoughts on Landman.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those who don't know, Landman...
So good, but I'm way behind.
Is the new Taylor Sheridan show. Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone, shows
and everything. Lioness,
Tulsa King, all of this stuff. So Landman is basically all about Texas oil, and it's
Billy Bob's great.
Billy Bob Thornton is great in the show. It's great characters. It's a little preachy about, the importance of oil and things like that.
There's a message that somebody wanted to tell.
Yeah, there's a narrative that's really trying to get slap you over the head or slap you in the head with.
And even from the little I've seen, I noticed that.
I find the show there's like any show like a Yellowstone, there's an A plot, a B plot, a C plot. There's different plots.
Yes.
I think the A plot involving Billy Bob Thornton and, the challenges he faces every day overseeing one of these $1 billion,
I think that's good enough.
I think that's great.
Just had that.
Yeah. There's B plot involving his son getting involved in a relationship with a lady whose husband passed away in very dramatic fashion in the first episode. That's good. Then we get into like the C plot with
his daughter,
Ali Lauder, and his ex-wife.
I heard his ex-wife. See, I missed the movie she was in. Is it Friday Night Lights or something where she was like super hot?
She was a cheerleader. What's the one where
we got to get that because everyone says she was a cheerleader with the whipped cream. Bikini.
That was with Vanderbeek. James Vanderbeek plays the quarterback, and he tells us, "I don't want your life." I can't remember the name of that movie.
No,
John Voight's the football coach.
See, I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
If you're 40, you know this movie exactly.
What the hell was that movie called? There's people screaming at us right now.
They hate us.
John Voight plays the football coach.
James Vanderbeek.
Football movie. Oh, what the hell
They are so mad at us, and this is so
But
funny.
Ali Lauder's in that movie.
Yes. I'm going to get it here. It's so close.
And she comes out in a whipped cream bikini.
Yeah, and so what people are saying is she's getting hotter.
Yeah, well, she's
beautiful.
Don't be wrong, she's really good in the show,
right?
But she's really good in the show.
She's so famous for this whipped cream thing. My goodness,
what's the football movie called?
I went at it the wrong way. Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. That's it. Right now.
Don't fire me.
No. I didn't know it either.
That's in '99.
Yeah. God.
So I am just graduated college, and I'm trying to get married and moving to Texas.
I'm 21 when that movie comes out, and I'm not interested. For some reason, at 21, I didn't care about high school movies.
Yeah, there's so many movies that I'm like, I never saw that. It's based on your life and what you're going through at the time, and there's one right there.
So I find Landman to be interesting, an interesting look at how. I feel like it's probably a pretty accurate look at how shit's done behind the scenes of these massive oil companies.
I bet 80% right on and 20 way off.
Yeah, and there's obviously some dramatic element. He's dealing with issues with the cartel, people getting hurt and killed on the job and all this stuff. I don't know. Listen, I enjoyed it enough that I will tune in for season 2 when that comes out, but I did find it to be a little preachy.
I love Lioness, which is another one.
Which I haven't started that yet.
Well, I love it. I was going to say unbelievable. Maybe that's too much, but awesome. I love military black ops stuff.
Yeah.
Season 2 just crushes.
I got to watch it. I might have to start. I'm sorry. I know I was supposed to start Paradise, but I might have to start Lioness.
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I've heard great about that.
Lioness season 2. So you haven't seen season 1?
No, I haven't seen it at all.
Oh.
Yeah, don't tell me anything.
Do you know what Lioness is? I can tell you what that means.
No, don't even tell me.
No.
I'm going want to go in cold. All right, Bill, we only have a couple minutes here, so we're going to have to rapid fire everything at this point.
Fine.
All right, so Bill, before we wrapped up, I know you had a few more suggestions, but let's kind of rapid fire, and if I've seen it, I'll chime in.
Okay, so I love this series, Silo.
Silo Isn't that also on Apple TV?
No, I don't think so.
It's on one. Well, it's on one of the streaming
We
services.
will fix
Okay.
that. Figure that out.
I will. Okay.
Season 2 came out, and Ferguson's the female lead actress. She's in all the, I think, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
She's one of
I
the
know what you're talking about.
good-looking chicks.
All right. Silo.
Silo's another one of these whole society in a thing. There's a theme with me today. Same as Snowpiercer, by the way. But that one's all society's on a train. Silo's a whole society in a silo.
Have you seen the Snowpiercer movie?
That's not very good.
Oh, I didn't think it was
Guess
awful.
what? TV series kills it.
Kills it.
And the fans love Snowpiercer so much, they made them come out with a final season to finish it.
Fun fact about
Yeah.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, what?
I had a gentleman by the name of Alex Ponovic who played in...
He's on a show?
He's on the show.
No way.
I had him on...
What character is it?
2019.
What is he? I got to look him up.
Off the record.
I'm obsessed with Snowpiercer.
I've never watched the show, but he was a guest on my show
I feel like I'm on that train.
5 years ago.
No way.
Alex Ponovic, yeah.
Oh, I got to figure out which one it is. Alex what?
Alex Ponovic.
Well, you know what? That show, I love Snowpiercer. And I wasn't even planning on bringing that up.
Okay.
But it's similar to Silo.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So when we have more time, Netflix, American Primeval,
I've seen the first episode.
it's gritty, bloody, serious, and it's part truth, part not truth. I did not know that. I thought the whole thing was like really seriously real. There's some that they've stretched some of the
They've taken some liberties with the story, but it is based off of a famous
Utah Territory War.
There was a famous massacre
Yes,
that happened.
so that's kind of the gist.
That's
of
the inciting incident that happens in the first episode, and that is based off fact. That
Brigham
really did
Young
happen.
and the Mormons kind of fighting with American Indians and the U.S. government.
Yeah.
A lot going on back there. That's the old Wild Wild West.
and I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about the Mormon religion or the
Right, I don't know
I
either.
don't know anything about that. But if 10% of what is presented in this television show is accurate,
Wow.
what a hell of a story.
Yes, geez.
You know.
Steve Young.
Steve Young.
Isn't his like great grandfather or great grandfather is Brigham Young?
Don't know.
I think that's true.
Don't know.
And he played at BYU. So
Did he? Well,
Steve Young's from BYU.
I didn't know where Steve
Yes.
Young played football.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, that's a cool.
The dots are connecting.
Yes, that's real.
That's
so
interesting.
Night Agent, Diplomat.
We've talked about Night Agent before.
Yeah, see the new season's out.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I put it back
This is the
on.
guy that literally is supposed to man a telephone that never rings. And
Now
then-
he's an agent.
Now-
Now he's in the field.
Now he's a night agent.
He's all grown up.
All right.
Yeah. And then On Call. We talked a little bit about On Call.
On Call.
I don't know what that might be. I don't know if
Is
that's
On-
Apple.
Which one's On Call?
That's the LA, kind of looks like a reality show of two cops.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
LA
Yeah,
cops.
We did talk about that. I did watch the first episode of On Call. And
Well, you mentioned it's something else you watched that you like better.
okay, so I'm going to go out and say one of, if not the best ever show about police officers and detectives ever made was called Southland.
I saved it. I haven't started it yet.
And after you and I had that conversation, because
I told you On Call, you got to watch it.
I did, and I did watch it. I think I had mentioned to you that I had watched the first episode. I was like, "This is good," but it's not as good as Southland. And after that conversation, Jess and I were trying to find something to watch that night. She had never seen Southland, so I started it from episode 1 of the first season, and I had not seen that. It's been off the air for 6 or 7 years. Just reminded, even from the first episode, how good that show is. One of the best television shows ever made.
I gotta watch it.
Southland.
On Call's on Prime Video,
Yeah.
but I've got to watch that because I really liked On Call.
The first season of Southland only has like 7 episodes. Ultimately 5 seasons. You really get to know the characters, and all I'm going to say is it's one of those shows I give credit to that not all of our characters make it to the end of the show.
But that's real life.
That's real life.
That's a tough job.
And there's one character in particular, and it's going to be killing you now because I'm not going to tell you who it is. There's one character who ultimately meets his or her demise in the show, and you never see it coming.
Really?
It just comes out of
That's
nowhere, and it's brilliant.
Okay, I promise that'll be my start watch. Is that one? And I'm rewatching Ted Lasso.
Okay, yeah, Ted Lasso's great.
That's my theme for my team is Ted Lasso.
All right,
yeah,
perfect.
Love Ted Lasso. So anyway, thanks for calling me back.
Yeah, Bill. Listen,
did I say the scent of the candle?
You did.
Okay, good. Sand fog.
Sand and fog.
Sand and fog.
So listen, Bill, we've got a lot. We got a busy schedule coming up here. Busy season here at the DanaBuckler Show.
Brought my calendar here.
We got commentaries. We got more episodes to come out.
Thanks for calling me back. Yeah. I love doing this. I feel like me and you are very good together, but I just feel like I'm getting a little bit more precise on my less rambling. I'm getting there.
This is going to be great.
I appreciate you.
This is going to be a great year.
I appreciate you, Dana.
All right, Bill. I appreciate you. And for everybody listening, thank you so much. And we are going to talk soon.